Welcome to Vision Profiles, the podcast dedicated to Apple Vision Pro users. We explore the hardware, software, apps, and the latest news from the world of spatial computing. Not a lot of news from the world of spatial computing this week, but some really cool apps to play with, and we'll get to that as part of this week's show. I know Eric and I both looked at Rahman, which turns the headset into a concert hall with an immersive music app. There's a bunch of other stories that we will cover and get through, and end off with an interesting story in Paris about the Paris Opera House and its use. I'm Marty Gensius, an associate professor at Kent State University and a longtime Apple enthusiast, and really enjoying my Vision Pro, especially today.
And I'm Eric Bolden. I work in IT, but my passion is finding creative ways to share content. Currently, photography of plants, birds, and panoramic sequences.
I'm Daniel Burkholder, a software engineer currently immersed in generative AI and AR/VR technologies.
And I'm Dave Ginsburg, the host of In Touch Live as a podcast, IT professional, and iPhone subject matter expert, continually discovering new ways to use the Vision Pro as well. It's future in computing. And I am in Denver, Colorado today.
Yeah, Dave, it's nice of you to join us. And from the pictures you've been sending, you've had kind of a busy trip.
Yeah.
Red Rocks, did you see a concert at Red Rocks?
I sure did. Yeah, it was that place. That place is phenomenal. What a place.
Yeah.
I want to go back. The same guy, I forget his name. I always forget it. He's there tonight too. And easy in, easy out to get that place. But I was sitting all the way up at the top because of my ADA. But that was the best thing in the world, because I just looked down at all these people sitting on those bleachers, and I was sitting on a nice chair. But it's a gorgeous place, and a number of other great things I've done, and of course got to spend some time with Jeff Gamet and his lovely girlfriend Angela. So. Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, when I asked you when you sent that, I said, "Is that Red Rocks?" Because I went on a post-college stoner trip out to Colorado, and that is one of the places that we went, and it was a little bit of memory with that.
Estes Park was too. There's another place that's great.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's right. You're on the tram there too. You sent some of that stuff back. So. You can follow us live. We've got people following us live already tonight at youtube.com/@visionprofiles. Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, or catch us later on YouTube or the audio of any podcatcher service. All the links we'll talk about will both be in the recorded video version of the show and also in the audio portion of the show in the show notes. So take a look at those as we talk about them and follow through. I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on my Do Not Disturb. Okay, so let's get to the first big article. The first big article and concept that came out this week was this release of Rahman turns Apple Vision Pro into a concert hall and bringing immersive experiences to, and for those watching the video, I've got some sites up. This came from Uploader VR, and this was the show, or this was the piece that I saw. It was free. It was a teaser for a movie or some type of experience coming out next year for Diwali in 2027. So people, I think, will look forward to seeing this. And it seems like it's a movie theater. It's going to be shown in IMAX. That was what the trailer said. So that's in there. Then there are all sorts of other experiences that are in there. Many of them paid. I could only find, and I just looked at this right before the show, I could only find 2 experiences that were kind of free and downloadable if you wanted to be able to look at what the brouhaha was about. Has anybody else looked at any of these links or any of the the videos that are part of this. Dave, you might not have, because I doubt. Did you take your Vision Pro with you out to Colorado?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah. Well, it makes it a little bit difficult to see this stuff, except you go to the Apple store and say, hey, I need to look at this for a show tonight.
Yeah.
So, Daniel, did you see any of these yet?
No, I haven't had much of an opportunity, but also just, I don't know, not really up my alley necessarily.
Okay. What makes it not up your alley?
I'm I'm uncultured swine. I don't know. I'm just
You
not
heard
very,
it here first, and it
I
was
know
an
you can
admission of of guilt.
be canceled so bad.
Eric, you looked at some, because I know we talked a little bit before the show started. Why don't you tell a story on that?
Hang on, I got to settle my stomach. I believe that they've got a lot of really good ideas. The whole idea of, if you're going to show something, do it in 180 instead of 360, so you're not always wondering what's behind you. Great idea. Make sure the audio is good. Excellent idea. Trying to do some things that you would see in 2D film in 3D, maybe not such a great idea. So, and I don't remember, it was one of the free ones, so you can download and try it yourself. The starts out of a view over a piano. That was fine. And then they have various people to the right and left. There is a chorus group that was excellent. The camera was stable, audio was good, you could hear everything. There's some instrumental parts left and right. But what they did is they took the screen and divided it into triangular thirds. And they would kind of fade in and out different views in those thirds in a way that about maybe a minute and a half in, I was reaching for a bucket. And I'm still a little bit iffy on whether I need a bucket. I have not settled my stomach. Too much motion. The audio was good. There were a couple of scenes where what you were seeing didn't match the audio you were hearing. So it was like the chorus, but you were looking at instrumental, or instrumental, but you weren't hearing what you were watching. I like the experimentation. I like the kind of trying new things. I didn't get a chance to try more of the paid versions just because my network is slow and I was downloading all the OS updates today. I think I will look at more because I like the kind of experimental way of trying it. It looks like they've tried different things in each of the different videos.
Yeah.
Hopefully they've learned past the free ones. They should have a free one that doesn't make you sick, though.
Yeah, but you're going to do a little more of this, but with Dramamine and maybe a seasick patch on your side of your neck. Yeah. I noticed, did you the opening, when you finally get the app open, you're standing in a field of, what do you call them? Like, I don't know, they look like
you're in a ball pit.
You're in a ball pit. That's what, You're in a silver and gray silver and white ball pit with flamingos standing around you, which is very weird.
And there's some trees, and I don't know what the bird things are that are flying in the background.
Yeah, flying over. It also has mountains in the view that you're looking at, but this is a 360. If you turn around, you will get mountains behind you that are snow-capped. This is just the opening screen. That was
cool. I like that.
This is the thing to get you to purchase some of the stuff in there. Each of the videos, like between $10 and $15 for a video, I don't know. I didn't download the free concert piece that you downloaded because it was like 4.5 gig or 3.5 gig, and I would never get it downloaded in time to be able to look at it. So I jumped to the Rama, which was the movie premiere preview, and that was a 1.5 gig. and I was able to take a look at that, and it lasted 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
So
that was good. I mean, the effects, the cloud effects coming out, they did a pretty good job with that.
The thing that I would have liked to this, if I'm going to drop $10 a video or $15 a video, I want a 30-second clip.
Yeah.
That I can look at and go, okay, I will now put some cash down on this one. So this was the big story of the week when doing searches and finding things. This was really kind of the incredible piece of it. I will share with you, there's some other short stories we'll cover, and then we'll get into some apps, which are fine. This was something that was posted. Person added new environments to the Panoramas app. One of my favorites is inspired by Backrooms, and some interesting, fun stuff in there. I haven't seen Backrooms. I guess that's the show to watch now, and it comes up. But I guess it's the person did the design of the environments that way. So some cool stuff coming up here. And then this one is another post that comes off of X. Here's a look at Adobe Premiere running natively on Apple Vision Pro. So the person went ahead and shot a internal video of working with Adobe Premiere, which is the editing software that I use. So this is pretty cool.
It's worthwhile to emphasize that it's a native app. It's not just like a companion app, which is pretty neat. I wonder if they do any companion stuff too, where you can, when you're working on your desktop, to like beam stuff over to also view more immersively as well.
It's a good idea, Daniel, or a good request. Yeah, we're going to skip that one. This one I like because it's one of the few damn games I can play. Now, unfortunately, it looks like the setup is a little complicated. It ran it on our Doom running in RISC-V 64 Linux on a Vision Pro. And the person decides, I've got to step behind a screen to make sure that you and wave in the mirror so you know that I'm not faking this.
Yeah, what an insane sentence. Like the first thing I was like, that's a brand new sentence. That's just a number of words I never thought would be put together. Doom running on RISC-V and Vision Pro. Like, what?
Yeah, what? You can't tell me that's not complicated to set that up.
Yeah, well...
I
mean, for most people. I mean, us geeks, no problem, probably.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's easier to run some of the it's easier to run some virtual machines on Apple platforms nowadays, far more than it used to be.
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
but it's still nothing like a real like Hyper-V virtual machine on your computer kind of deal, but still.
Yeah.
If I want to do something like this, and now after seeing the Doom video, or what was it? Not Frankenstein. What was it?
Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein. Yeah. And,
it's Frankenstein.
Yeah. Roll in the hay, roll. Anyways, we're shifting into Mel Brooks. Yeah. After seeing this, it's like, I want to play these games again. I haven't played them in years. Now, I think they're available on Switch. Daniel, you might know that. I've got a Switch too. And I think you can find some of these retro arcade games available on there. And I will go back to that and skip the Jeopardy for a while and start playing Doom instead.
I mean, I'd be shocked if you couldn't find them. I mean, literally runs on anything. I could probably run it on my toaster. So,
I mean, the important thing about this is it means that the Vision Pro is now a real platform because someone got Doom running on it.
Yeah.
And someone got Linux running on it, or, pairing it with Linux. So, yeah. Let's see. This is an interesting article, an Apple Vision Pro seating station at the Parisian Opera House. And this story... The Paris Opera House launched I hate when I have to try French. I can do German. I can't do French. Dans l'espace d'un étoile.
Close enough.
In the footsteps of a star. What you were going to say?
Étoile.
Oh, okay. Yeah. a VR experience that follows ballet star Bluann Battassoni through the backstage spaces the public never normally sees. Visitors sit in a circle banquet, custom built with aluminum arms that hold the Vision Pro headsets in place. And the film was shot in 180 so viewers can swing their heads around and focus on whatever draws their attention. Paris Opera General Director Alexander Neef says the experience opens up spaces and moments usually not shared with public. And just some interesting photos here of the whole arrangement and setup where you can see people sitting in a circular seating with Vision Pro headsets mounted and set, ready to go.
They spent some effort getting that seating too, because they show the kind of under design underneath the cushions.
Yeah, I'm more interested in the seating arrangement, honestly. I'm like, they need this at the Apple stores for the Vision Pro demo. Like that's beautiful. Like it's just very elegant. It's so Apple looking even as well. It's really nice.
So
I'm more focused on that.
It looks like a polished aluminum or a polished steel, probably heavy grade aluminum.
Laser cut aluminum and riveted mostly, it looks like.
Yeah. So I'd like to see that same kind of setup in a bunch of museums. I think that would be awesome.
Oh yeah,
where people could sit and have that kind of experience. So hey, you go to the Natural History Museum in Chicago, and you don't only just sit and stand and see the bones of the dinosaurs. You sit in this kind of circular pattern and put a headset on, and you get the 3D immersive spatial view of dinosaurs like we've seen on Vision Pro. So that's cool. Okay. Yeah, I think we're going to skip that one. Here's an article on how to play SteamVR games on Apple Vision Pro using ALVR. Daniel, can you interpret, please?
Actually, it's interesting timing, too, because I was just using it the other day, ALVR, that is, to been enamored with this indie game called Better Than Dead. And I was playing it in that. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty accurate. ALVR is a pretty simple setup. There's a lot of preamble in this little guide to just install app on computer, install app on Vision Pro, pair, enter code, things start to work. It really doesn't get that much more advanced than my explanation, than their little tutorial is too. But you know that they keep chugging along on ALVR. Works great. You know, ALVR, there's a lot, right? ALVR, KRVR, similar setup. And then KRVR, VR, Ivory. I haven't tried Ivory yet. I should try that. But yeah, good stuff. Also, Better Than Dead. Great game. I'm so enamored with it. Sorry.
All right. This next one is a YouTube video, and it is about a guy who, he is a very energetic spokesperson for himself and does some kind of wild videos. There's some of this that I think, why? And other parts I think, well, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's attention getting. And it's watch your own 3D movies, VR 180 and 360 on Apple Vision Pro for free on NAS. And I guess it's Plex or Jellyfin NAS. Is how he's got this set up and arranged. But we'll go to a little part of the video, and yeah, he's got some strong reactions and feelings about how to be able to set this.
And it's useful, really useful.
Okay, Eric.
So one of the issues with the Vision Pro is if you're trying to watch 3D stuff, like that was shipped to you from other platforms or whatever, and trying to see it, you either get one side of a two-sided frame, or it's Moon Player, I think, can handle some of them, but he's been going through and setting it up both here and with his other app what is it, spatial video? Or is that what that
Yeah,
was?
spatial.
And he just keeps adding features so that you can browse, you can pull it off of a server, it can read the metadata, it can figure out what the stuff is, it can add a little extra metadata so it plays more natively or converts the file slightly to make it easier to play in spatial video. So it's just cleaner. And you get the actual 3D effect. You don't have to go futzing through testing a bunch of different things or clicking or taking 2D video and trying to make it 3D. So I will have more in a couple of weeks because
Yeah.
I'm testing one of the other things. Because along with this whole process is if you want to create your own video and you're shooting with a camera, how do you get a preview in immersive video of what you're shooting? So you're not just getting a circle view of, that you have to mentally uncompress. That just doesn't work. And that's also being added.
Yeah, what's the viewfinder of a spatial camera, which would be a headset? But I never considered that.
and so that's the latest add-on. And so I've got a Canon lens that will interface. I just have to get the pieces all plugged in correctly, and I hope to be able to test that. And hopefully, with luck, I will get some footage from my trip to Pennsylvania.
Okay.
My fingers crossed.
Now, is this conversion process, I'm going to ask a stupid question, but I think you'll know what I'm talking about. Is this conversion process like you see some of these things that are turned into 3D spatial, and what they do is like they put the Star Trek halo around like you're going through warp speed, when you see all that stuff in the corner flashing by and looking fuzzy, and you kind of have to go down a tunnel to get to the actual picture that's in 3D. Or if you haven't tested this, if you have tested it, does this really do a good job of this, or is it just kind of a false?
So far, the pieces I've tested have been better than that, but it's somewhat dependent on the source material. If the source material is really low resolution, you can't really fix that. It's still low resolution, and then you end up with the softer size. If you get higher resolution material, it looks better.
So
I will have more in the future because I have more tests. I just haven't made it through all of them yet.
So all those illegal movies that I got on Usenet and put on my Plex server in low resolution are not going to look good with this conversion.
Why would you have low resolution on your server? That's why you got your expanded
huge.
server.
They're like 35 megabytes or gigabytes.
Didn't you just go to a 4-drive unit from a 2-drive unit? You've got
I did. Well, it's a 3-drive unit. I haven't purchased the 4th drive yet, but yeah.
I got to run an RAID on 8 gigabyte disks for my Plex server, and I'm downloading 20 and 30 gigabyte movie files. You want to download them because they're insanely good quality. Because anytime I look for a file now, it's because like 2160 is a really good resolution.
What I have been downloading is basically old TV programs that it doesn't matter if it's not going to be in 4K.
Well,
there have been some.
They are in the Blu-ray though. I mean, if you're finding ones that were originally Blu-ray, they did enhance them.
Yeah, I will grab an occasional new movie when it comes out. When I don't think I want to hold on to this one forever for whatever reason. I just want to see it, and so yeah. Anyway, now we get to the fun part of the show. Not that this show has not been fun, but apps. I don't know if you guys pick app. I can't figure out why they decided to call it pick app. P-I-K-A-P. And it basically is a vinyl record player that is spatial. And you combine it with your music. Has anybody in the group tried this? Eric, have you done it?
Nope, I haven't made it to that. Although I read the article, I looked at it. It looks cool. Yeah, I haven't tried it yet.
But it's $9.99. I mean, wasn't this in beta, or didn't they have this in test flight at some point?
It could have been, yeah. Let me tell you, you'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll kiss $10 goodbye.
That's what. Thank you. You saved my $10.
Well, to be honest with you, I have been having trouble with my Vision Pro. For some reason, I lost all of the hand control, where you can bring up the control by moving your hand and flipping it. I've lost that for some reason.
Interesting.
And I probably will just wait for the next beta to come out in a week or so and see if that fixes the problem. But yeah, so I'm doing everything in a different way. So yeah, I went ahead and got this and paid for it. And I couldn't figure out how to, it said, do you want it to connect with your Apple Music? And I'm like, yeah. But it came up with albums that I don't think are in my Apple Music, or I kind of dragged them in because it's just kind of weird stuff. And it is this functional piece where, and I don't know if they have any videos here. No, they're all stills. But it is this kind of, it didn't pull in the music. And then you had this music rack in front of you, and I couldn't figure out how to flip through what music was on there. It wasn't very intuitive. I think I finally figured out that you pinch, grab, and you toss back, and you get to another record. But again, it was nothing out of my Apple. Now, it could have been the settings. It could have been that I moved through it quickly. You get a variety of potential record players that you can use, and also a variety of racks that you can use with it. But for aesthetics, probably interesting. For me, it didn't quite work out well, because if I want to listen to my Apple Music, I'll just listen to my Apple Music.
It isn't enhancing anything as far as the music goes. It's just for $10 just to show a spinning vinyl record that's AR. I just don't see a justification. I just don't know how well this app's going to do.
I would have tried it if it was if it had Spotify, and also if I could have changed the vinyls, because I actually have some sick vinyls that I really want to play for real. I mean, they're sick. I mean, they're cool.
Wow.
But I want to play these for real. I need to get a real turntables on it.
What
this
artist
is an
is that?
called Perturbator.
Okay.
Yes, dark EDM, very industrial, very cool. But yeah, I want to see that, but that wouldn't be the album art, right? It's not the album art. So,
well, Daniel has just become the coolest person in the room.
He has.
I don't know if that says more about me or you guys.
All right, here's the one that I started playing with and actually had some fun with it. It is XR Putt, and it is free, and it is I think well done. Again, it does essentially a wireframe of whatever room you're in, and it will then create a putting area for you to be able to putt on. You need either a Logitech Muse, seems to be the best instrument for this, or you can use the Sony XR PS2 or whatever it is, PS2 XRs, and you can use that functionally. But really, the Muse is kind of nice because you hold it like you would hold a putter, and it becomes the putter.
Nice.
There's some cool stuff that you can do with it besides that. I'm in my small office trying to use it, and instead it set up a whole green that went out into the hall with the door closed. My door was closed, so I putted the ball, and it physically stopped when it hit the door. It really hit the door. But I could see that there was a downsloping green that went out into my hall at one point, but the ball didn't make it there. So I want to play with this more. I want to play with it in a large living room area space where I can really set up a good putting green. I think it actually made one of the hills in my in my putting green. It went over a garbage can that I have here. So I put the facade over the garbage can in order to get it.
Yeah,
Best part, it's free.
Yeah, it's free. Who knows what they're going to do with that in terms of free, in terms of the future with it. But it is pretty cool. I would say
it's a small download too.
Yeah, I would say that's right. It is, considering what it
2.4
does.
megabytes?
Yeah.
That's nothing.
So when you guys have a chance, play with this. You'll have some fun with it. And then talk to Chuck about it. He now needs to get one. Let's see what else we have here. Orbital. Orbital is, did Eric or Daniel, did you do either of this?
I downloaded it, and then I kind of had a second guess or a hesitation because I thought a little more about it, and I'm like, this could be cool, or this could also be a fever dream.
It is both. It is cool and a fever dream. When you open it up, there's a series of orbs floating in front of you, and you can go up and you can push the orbs around. They float like bubbles in the room. You can click on them, and these are orbs where people have recorded messages. And so I found one where, and I tried to record a message back to the guy, but I found one which the guy was like describing how cool this is. And you can reply messages with them. I recorded an orb of myself just saying, hey, this is really cool, just checking this out. Of course, I plugged Vision Profiles and said, we'll talk about it on Vision Profiles. I don't know. And then you can select if you want to send it to your friends or if you want to send it public. So it feels like in space a little bit, but a messaging system if you want to do that. So I was like, oh, I wish I had an extra hour. I would be texting Eric and saying, Eric, get in there and put this in here and let's see if we can send messages back and forth to each other. It is just, I thought it was a very cool concept. Again, it's free. One of the things that I noticed in it was if I wanted to shoot video, it comes up when you're ready to record. If you want to shoot video, what you do is you pull the slider over from audio only to video. And on the side where it's the video side, it says Pro. And I thought, okay, this is where they're going to ask for money. They didn't ask for money. So maybe that's going to be a future thing where you're going to have a pro account or a paid account in order to be doing the video. But right now it's open and it's free, and take advantage of sliding the little things over and recording orbs to send off into space or the community or towards your other friends that you have as contacts. It is kind of I think it's horrible. The problem I had was trying to spell it to get it into the search engine correctly, but I finally found it, and it is a very cool little app. I would encourage you to play with it.
You know, I think somebody should do a virtual escape room with all of these little orbs with asynchronous hints and questions, and that would be really cool.
I was chasing another app that was like metal ball hands or something like that. and your hands, it sounds like a bad movie, but your hands actually have these little liquid metal balls on each of the joints of your hands. And you can take them and you can put them together and clinch them like a fist. And then you can toss them out and they all go out. And then you can put them back together. It's almost like Magneto. And it was very cool, but I could not find an actual link to it in the store. So it might just be someone starting to develop this and testing it out. The last one that is in the store is Posture Check Vision. Has nothing to do with your vision, but they put vision in it, so it would be for Vision Pro. And that's what it is. It's an app that gives you gentle reminders to sit up straight. And it's 99 cents. It's another thing that will sit in your environment and, pay attention to what you're doing. You can place it right next to the phonograph, if you like, the virtual phonograph. And it will remind you occasionally and give you feedback on your posture. And when I open it up, it's like, do you want relaxed? Do you want, what kind of posture are you expecting us to check on? And so there were some options for changing that.
That's good.
So let's see, what else? A couple of things I got working this week was this little baby. Because I wanted to use it to start to play some games with. And I had the most difficult time doing this. And Daniel, I am not, and you guys know I'm not a gamer. And I had never used one of these things before in my life. So, it looks like the hieroglyphics all over it. I finally did a Google search on how to sync this with my headset. And I got a response back that was wrong.
Wow.
I kept trying it with what was told me to do it, and it didn't work. And so I said, I got this device I can't use. And I went back and looked and did another search and came up with a different solution. And when I first did that, it didn't work. And then I tried it again and it did work. So now this thing is connected to my Vision Pro, at least through Bluetooth. So yeah, that was pretty cool, that getting that set up and then using the Muse for the XR putt.
Yeah, you should play around with some of the gamepad settings in Vision OS. You can really customize, outside of playing a game, you can customize buttons to do all sorts of stuff if you'd like.
Here's what I used. Here's what I have used it for thus far. Scrolling. I just used the joystick to scroll. Instead of doing this, I can just do that and it scrolls for me. So
you're not eye scrolling? Not every app supports the eye scrolling.
I didn't even think of that, come to think of it. So
no, yeah, but that's nice. Or even just clicking menus sometimes. If you already got it in your hand, it's already nice to click around menus and stuff. And I even type faster with it. I'll just use my eyes and then push the button.
But it has only 4 letters. What AYX? I forget what's on these things. So I don't know if there's anything else from you guys. Dave, you look tired, man. No offense, but you've been getting rest on this vacation.
Oh yeah,
that's good.
Oh, that's good.
It's just towards the end of the night, you get a little sleep.
Yeah.
I'm only an hour behind. I'm only 2 hours behind you.
2 hours behind. So yeah, it's 7:53 or so where you're at. Yeah.
Yeah, like with Jeff.
Yeah. Anything else, guys? Eric, I think you're doing some traveling coming up, and I'm staying in my lonesome place here. And so we're going to have kind of, as people take advantage of vacations, we're going to have kind of a split crew over the next couple of weeks. And maybe I'll take a vacation sometime and just skip the show altogether. Let's find out where we can find all of you, and we'll start with Eric.
I'm going to be hiding in a car, a non-disclosed location. But you can find me on Mastodon at EABolden at mes.to. And I have no idea over the next few weeks, but normally Sunday nights on the Neo Notebook, Mondays here on Vision Profiles, Tuesdays on Mac Voices Live, and I like to wrap up my week on In Touch with iOS on Thursdays.
Daniel.
I'm here every other week or so. You can find me on Blue Sky at IO Expander, or if you happen to be in the Deals Gap area of North Carolina next week, that's where I'll be shredding the mountain roads in a car.
What, and you are shredding the mountain roads for?
Oh, it's just it's the yearly Miatas at the Gap in North Carolina. 1,000+ Miatas just all descend on the mountain roads up there, and we just go nuts.
You
all
are
around.
definitely the coolest person in the room. And not to dismiss Dave. Dave, where can we find you?
Jeez. Well, when I'm not in Denver and I'm going around the countryside in Colorado, you can find me at usually the Neo Notebook on Sunday nights. Mondays here on Vision Profiles, Tuesdays on Mac Voices Live, and then Thursdays In Touch with iOS, intouchwithios.com, YouTube channel, youtube.com/intouchwithios. Fridays on the Tech Hangout, and then on social media, it's changed since I lost my Mastodon server. It's now Dave Ginsburg at mastodon.social, as well as on Blue Sky, Dave Ginsburg. And thank you.
Thanks for being here and making the effort on your vacation to jump in. I know when I do that, it drives my wife nuts. I kind of have to find her an alternative activity outside of the room so I can stay back and do a podcast. So
my wife found something to do. No problem. Because I know you love podcasting, so no problem.
Yeah. Aileen does not want to hear my end of it nor anybody else's end of it. She said, you just talk. So let me tell you where you can find me at Jencius, Jencius on Blue Sky and Mastodon. You can connect with me there, DM me, whatever you want to do. Also, you can email us at the podtalknetwork@gmail.com if you have some ideas for the show or things that you want to share with us. Best thing you can do is subscribe to the show and subscribe to other shows that we do. There's no money exchanging hands here. It's just a nice pat on the back when we get a subscription and when we get a nice comment. So I appreciate that when that happens. Sunday night with the Neo Notebook, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, live on YouTube. Monday nights here with Vision Profiles, 9 p.m. Eastern, live on YouTube. Wednesdays, I do a show called The Old Mac Gang, live at 9 p.m. on YouTube. And then a variety of other shows. I'm on Chuck's show, 8 o'clock Eastern Time on Tuesdays, and then Dave's show with In Touch with iOS on Thursdays at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. I'm currently doing a show right now called Fade to Chat, which I do with Cindy Rotz about movies. We did Witness for the Prosecution. Next time, I have convinced her, and she might not talk to me anymore, to watch Bridge on the River Kwai. She's going, she also informs me she's going on vacation immediately following that show, so it'll give her time to cool down. I think she'll like it. But we're doing sort of a sister broadcast that I put together to parallel the movies that we have called One Scene, The Camera and the Couch. And it's 10 minutes. It's a solo shot with me talking about a mental health aspect related to one of the scenes in the movies that we've just covered. So I talked about counter dependency as a concept and how it is in Witness for the Prosecution, and it gives you, thinking in those terms, it gives you a completely different view of the lead character, who you would see as a curmudgeon, but this is really a challenge for him to kind of maintain his identity, and that's counter dependence. So it's a brief 10-minute show that will parallel along with this, and scripted, and just sort of my views on that in terms of mental health and its relationship to particular scenes in movies. Have no idea which scene I'm going to do in Bridge on the River Kwai and how that will come out yet, but I'll work on it. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for this gang being here, spread out all over the U.S. And again, you can catch us on YouTube at youtube.com/@symbolvisionprofiles. Also, check out the podtalk.net. That's the website that contains all the shows and the shows that I'm on and the shows that I produce. And email us again at the podtalknetwork@gmail.com. That's it for this episode. Thanks for joining us, and keep enjoying your Vision Pro. Try some of these apps out.